Hello everyone and welcome back. So I want to talk to you about some difficult truths. And many of you are not going to be aware of this, so I'm going to try to attach some historical references down below so that you can look at them at a later time and see exactly what I'm talking about here. So for those of you paying attention to the news, North Korea is now supposedly capable of creating an ICBM. Now, I'm not 100% sure on this. I would like to see more of the intel than we've been allowed to see. I understand that I will not get to see the intel, and so we're going to have to basically make a decision on what we're told. However, there is something I do want to bring up. We are still at war with North Korea, and we have been since the 1950s. And anybody that tells you that the Korean War is over is either ignorant or not very bright. The Korean War was pushed into a ceasefire by the UN in the 1950s, and the 38th parallel was always just a ceasefire situation. But no matter how you slice it, the United States is still assisting South Korea in a war. And the DBK, the North Koreans, are only still around because the United States has never had the stomach to finish the war. Now, if they are developing nuclear technology and they are getting ready to, nuke us or nuke Japan or even nuke South Korea, we need to go ahead and put an end to this. I mean, we've been dragging this war out long enough. And realistically, I would like to just see us put an end to it entirely anyway. North Korea has been a thorn in the paw of the world since the 1960s. And China has used North Korea as kind of a bully stick against the United States to force negotiations that the U.S. didn't necessarily want to enter, especially over the past 15 years. I mean, for crying out loud, President Clinton was an idiot when it came to international politics. He refused to assist the UN in monitoring North Korea, and during his presidency, North Korea developed a large amount of weapons technology. Why? Because he refused to see North Korea as anything resembling a threat. Now, to be fair, George H.W. Bush did the exact same damn thing. And so did President Obama. I don't want more of that. Not at all. I have friends who have served on the DMZ in South Korea. That's right, DMZ, Demilitarized Zone. That means that the war is still going. That just happens to be an area where no combat is taking place. That's one of the reasons you can see that we are still at war in Korea. So I realistically think it's time we folded it up over there and reunified the country. But it's only going to happen if we can get Russia and China to agree to let it happen. Because realistically, the only thing that has propped up North Korea has been its relations with China specifically, as well as Russia to a limited extent. Their iron ore, coal, and a few other natural resources have allowed them to buy what they needed in order to keep their population somewhat alive and thriving. However, the population of North Korea is so heavily inculcated with communist dogma that they actually believe that their leader is some sort of deity. So it's going to be a bloody battle no matter what we do. Now, I realistically would advocate for striking all of their major targets and allowing South Korea and North Korea to unify, because once we strike all their major military installations, South Korea could easily come in and mop up the whole situation. Now, for those of you who are still keeping score, you realize that if we do allow North Korea to go ahead and actually develop real nuclear armaments, it's going to actually make them one of the most difficult countries in the world to deal with. Because at that point, we are talking about a nuclear superpower where the people believe that their leader is a divine god. And at that point, we have regressed to a conceptual situation similar to the Middle Ages in North Korea. You basically have a leader that is all-powerful to his or her people. Well, I just wanted to bring this idea up. Realistically, I would like to see the U.S. bounce the hard targets, the South Koreans come up, reunify the country, and the United States keep China off of the Koreans' back. But I don't think anybody's going to listen to me on that. Well, thank you all for joining me. Please go ahead and like and subscribe if you're on YouTube, or upvote and follow if you're on VidMe. Thank you all, and have yourselves a great day.